everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Gladiator II. Many years in the making, I guess, right? So I remember Gladiator 1. I almost said it was Russell Crowe, but it's Gerard Butler. But I don't, right? It was Gerard Butler? I could be wrong on that, too. It was Russell Crowe. I was right the first time. Gerard Butler was in 300, I think. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, Gladiator was a really good movie. Don't remember all of it, which kind of stinks. But this is Gladiator 2, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Oh yeah, it was in 2000, the original Gladiator. So this is 24 years later. Of course I'm not going to remember that. I'm only 28 years old. It came out when I was 4. Anyway. Sorry, that one got me funny. After his home is conquered by the tyrannical emperors who now lead Rome, Lucullus is forced to enter the Colosseum and must look to his past to find strength to return the glory of Rome to its people. So, I don't know. Only 6.8 on IMDb, 1,281, 141 people rated it so far. So it's a solid 6.8. Paul Mescal is our Lucullus. Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal is in it. Connie Nielsen, Joseph Quinn, Stranger Things. Fred Hechinger, sorry, I know him. He's in a lot of good stuff. A lot of good people in here. Okay, and I'm sure I can scroll forever, and we're going to find other people who are in here a little bit longer. But it's a weekend. Just came out. Let me get into it. Find out a little bit more about it. Again, going into this without remembering all of Gladiator, would have liked to see Gladiator first, and then come to Gladiator 2. Don't know if it's needed, but that's the point of view, the POV you're getting. Somebody who hasn't watched Gladiator in 24 years. So stick around, I'll let you know what I think. Hey everybody, we're at the credit to Gladiator 2, and I'll answer the basic question, the one that I threw out there first. You don't have to go and rewatch Gladiator prior to watching this. Although I feel like that would be fun. It's not required, but I might recommend it, right? I don't even know if you have to watch the first one. You have to know a little bit about it, maybe. I think it helps, but they do a great job in this one of connecting all the dots that you need connected from the first one, which was great because I had no idea about any of it. I didn't realize the name of our main character, Lucullus, so I think that's the way you say it, was in the first one. I had no idea. But you could see it, and then I even went back and looked at Gladiator and looked at the cast and saw, oh, okay, he is in there. Check it out. So I think that helps a lot. Again, I think it's fun. I'm almost enticed to watch the first one again. It's just such such a time commitment. But you don't need to. So there you go. So I think that's helpful a lot. Lot to like about this movie. Couple of things that I don't like, and I'm just going to share some of them, and then we have to talk a little bit more openly because I know I'll stammer too much. But I'll say what I didn't. The one thing that I didn't like. So it's a lot of gladiator battles. I mean, that's the entire movie, which is great. But one, they fill the Colosseum with water and put sharks in the water and have a boat like battle. So I don't know, man. That one just, I appreciate the creativity, but this was just a little too much for me to do what they did there. I thought that was, whatever. And there's some other aspects that I can't share with you now until we get into the more open section. But just a little bit more of the plot line. So we got Joseph Quinn and, what was the other kid's name? They are the twins. And Fred Hechinger? I forget his name. But they are the twins who are like the co-emperors of Rome, who, when we read the IMDb synopsis, are the ones who are, doing with treachery and scandalous kind of stuff, right? So they're not doing it, they're not doing it in a way that Lucullus would like, right? Connie Nielsen, she was in the first one, and she reprises her role in this one. Pedro Pascal plays the general, who's just taking the orders from the twins and going out there and just conquering cities. And the very first opening scene, he conquers Lucaris that's not his name at the time. We don't know it's him, but I mean it's in IMDb, so it's not really a spoiler yet at this point. But conquers his, starts, impacting him and his family and his world, and so he gets overtaken, gets brought into the Colosseum area, and he wants revenge against Pedro Pascal, who happens to be, I guess, married to Connie Nielsen's character in all of this. Meanwhile, he's not too happy with the way the twins are running things, and wants to have a little coup, if you will. So a lot going on, and usually, especially in these kinds of period pieces, whether it's the Romans or whatever it is, medieval times, I get lost. Game of Thrones, I've tried many times to watch our show, just can't. There's just so much in it, it just confuses me and drowns me out. That's not the case in Gladiator II. I don't know if it was in Gladiator, but in this case, very easy to follow. You know who everybody's is. It's a longer movie, but it goes quickly. 2 hours and 25 minutes or something like that, 28 minutes, whatever. It's a lot of action, and not a lot of dialogue. And again, I think they do a good job for people like me who have a hard time following, big words. No, it really was pretty easy to follow and enjoyable. I thought it was. I was surprised. My wife stopped down and she goes, they're making Happy Gilmore too. I don't know how that's going to be good. But this one, I was surprised that it was as good as it was. Besides that shark scene and a couple other things that I want to say, I thought that's the only thing I wrote down, was making sure I talked about that. But otherwise it was good. I also felt, now nothing will be Braveheart. You feel it though a little bit. You feel like it's knocking on the door of Braveheart in certain pieces, but it's nothing ever going to top that movie. And the score in that movie was phenomenal. But they touch on it here. They're tickling a little bit of Braveheart. Again, not getting there, but you get that sense. So it made me enjoy it even a little bit more. All right. So with all that said, I do want to talk a little bit more openly about some of the other things I didn't like that I might would have changed. And so if you haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but I am going to talk more openly about it. So you're warned. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! The other thing was, the deaths, right? And I won't go through all of them. I also don't know what happens to the one like mayor guy, but he didn't die, but he just kind of gets ousted. But really, Connie's character. Everything else has a purpose, and I'm okay with everything else. But that piece, I thought to myself, like it would have been awesome if she would have hung on. He could have done something, and he could write really cool things and make it all happen. And then she's like, I'm assuming he becomes king. Right? I mean, he's the heir to the throne. He was a prince. There's nobody else there. Should be his, which is great. But I don't think he knows how to be king. And now he would have his mother as the advisor. I don't know how, again, any of that works. And you could come back and be like, well, if she didn't die, he couldn't do it. And blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But for storytelling purposes, something would have been cool like that. That, the guy has a little bit of family left when all this is said and done. So that was the one piece that... I mean, from like his best friend, from his dad to his best friend, to his stepdad, to his mom. It's like, bro. And his mentor, which again, all of them had purposes. Denzel Washington saying his mentor. Even the guy who was training him. Like, I wasn't sure about if that was a love-hate relationship between the two of them. You find out about that, but I wasn't sure. So, alright, I know it's a longer than usual review. It's a longer than usual movie, but normally sequels aren't that great. This one, I think, does a good job. So, great job, except for what I mentioned, and I'm not going to say it again. Alright, hopefully that was helpful. If you stuck with me this whole time, I appreciate it. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.